Now, there's a lot of major wrestling news and rumors to share with you guys today. And we'll start off with a story regarding the now former World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso, who shockingly lost his title out of the blue to Gunther on last week's episode of Monday Night Raw. While a lot of fans were really beginning to voice their displeasure with Jey Uso's run as World Heavyweight Champ, no doubt most were still surprised that Triple H and WWE decided to take the title abruptly off of Jey on a random episode of Raw, and also who the company decided to end Jey's run as champion. It's not as if Gunther had been having that great of a run with the world title prior to dropping it to Jey at WrestleMania 41, so a lot of fans were expecting Seth Rollins to be the guy to dethrone Jey Uso of that world title, cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase and using some help from his fellow faction members Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to secure the title win. Instead, Gunther is World Heavyweight Champion once again, and if what former WWE writer Vince Russo revealed on a recent episode of the Coach and Bro Show is true, then Jey is apparently hurt both emotionally and mentally after the company decided to take the title off of him like that. Roll the clip.
But speaking of Rikishi, and he has, over the last several months, taken accordingly shots at us because we had our opinions about Jey Uso and whether or not he could be the guy. And I felt like I love Jey Uso. I love the vibe. I love the entrance and all that. But clearly, TKO also did not think that it was in their best interest to have him be the World Heavyweight Champion for a very long period of time, which is what they normally do. You know they love Vince to go 462 days they've been the champion. So here's Rikishi on his own podcast talking about Jey Uso being stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship, and best believe he ain't happy about it.
Run as the world champion. I didn't think it was justice. I didn't think it was fair. 51 days, that was it. I mean, in a Continental belt. A short run. That was it. Like, what is it? What is it against my boy that you just feel?
All right, so he doesn't agree that they take it off of him. And he's been very vocal, and he went on to say, it was a long segment, Vince, but he looks at it from a merch standpoint, from a crowd reaction standpoint, and everybody looks at it differently. You just said from a writer standpoint. So from a writer standpoint, was it the right move to take that World Heavyweight title off of Jey Uso?
Coach, I want to say this. A couple of months ago, when Jey Uso won the Intercontinental title, as a writer, I refer to that title as a prop because it is. It's a television show. The title's a prop. Bro, Rikishi was ready to fight me.
Yeah, he was.
He literally fight me. However, I want to say in this case, Coach, I agree 1,000% with
Tell me why. Tell me why.
I will tell you why. First of all, this is going to hurt Jey Uso. Now, I'm not even talking about his on-air character. He's always going to have the yeet. He's always going to have that entrance. That's over. I'm talking about his psyche, his mental, his emotion. This is going to affect him. Now, here's where I agree with Rikishi, and this goes into the writing end of it, Coach. Coach, when you decide you're going to put this title on Jey Uso, you are making a huge commitment. This is a major title. You can make a mistake with the Intercontinental, the U.S. title. This is a major title. So you're making the commitment to put that title on him. So, Coach, I think what happened again, and we're seeing this again and again and again, that internet wrestling community started to turn against Jey a little bit. And what happened? Next thing we know, after 51 days, the title is off of Jey. If you are going to make that type of commitment to him, you have to roll with this guy. And I got to tell you, man, I agree with Rikishi. And can I just give my 2 cents if I'm writing this? Because here's where I think Hunter falls short. And it's not personal, it's creative. If I'm Hunter and I'm watching that promo, now the light bulb's going off in my head. And I got to tell you, these Samoans have one thing in common, Coach. They're cool. They're cool. Solo Sikoa, I think, is killing it. Solo's cool. Fatu is cool off the charts. Jay is cool. Jimmy's cool. Roman's cool. If I'm Triple H and I see Rikishi, guess what I'm doing? I'm gathering all those Samoans, baby faces and heels, and I'm bringing Rikishi in to manage that group. In my opinion, it should have never been Heyman with the bloodline in the first place. It should have been Rikishi. I think Heyman got there because of politics, but this is where I think they missed the mark. If I'm watching this as a writer, I am on the phone with Rikishi immediately. Brother, here's what I'm thinking. What are you thinking?
Now let us know in the comments section below if you agree with any of Vince Russo's takes surrounding Jey Uso's World Heavyweight title loss to Gunther. And overall, do you think Triple H made the right call to have Jey drop the world title after just a 51-day reign to Gunther on Raw last week? Or do you feel Gunther as World Heavyweight champ isn't an improvement, especially considering it looks like the only reason Gunther won the championship back was so that a major title could be on the line in his upcoming match against the returning Goldberg at Saturday night's main event next month? However, regardless of the possible lackluster reason for Gunther reclaiming his World Heavyweight Championship from Jey Uso, things are going exceptionally well for the Ring General, and he is once again being presented as Raw's flagship champion. While everything is going Gunther's way right now, the same, unfortunately, cannot be said to any degree when it comes to Gunther's missing from action Imperium stablemate Ludwig Kaiser, who, despite having lots of potential, has rarely, if at all, been featured on TV recently, which has become more of a concern recently. With WWE releasing more talent than ever before this year, especially some big names, it's no surprise that a lot of wrestling fans are worried that Ludwig Kaiser is going to be getting released next, as he has quite literally been missing from TV since May 5th. And we're not even talking about Ludwig's last appearance on Raw. That May 5th appearance was a match against Tyler Bate on Main Event, and since then, Ludwig hasn't even been featured on the C-Level Main Event show, which is very worrisome. And we're going to be completely honest, guys. With the latest report provided by WrestleVotes during a recent Sportskeeda Binge episode, we believe it's safe to say that Ludwig Kaiser is getting released, if he hasn't already been quietly let go from the company, and we just haven't heard the news yet. Either way, it's safe to assume that Ludwig's done in WWE, as sad as that is. This is what WrestleVotes had just reported regarding Ludwig Kaiser not being a part of discussions in any capacity in WWE creative, despite being on the shelf for well over a month now. Quote, "I asked around after last week, didn't get much. The only thing I can say is he's on the roster. People say, of course he's on the roster. But when they take people off the internal roster, it means they have a legitimate injury and they're going to be away for a very long time. His name is still on the weekly television roster, so best I can say is he's not being used right now. The fact that Ludwig Kaiser has been off TV for over a month, has no injuries preventing him from making an appearance, combined with the fact that there are no creative plans for him behind the scenes. Unfortunately, this is all but confirming that Ludwig is on his way out of WWE, and that's truly unfortunate news, because whether or not fans feel Ludwig Kaiser has the same kind of potential as his stablemate Gunther as a main event talent, no doubt Ludwig would be a fantastic, serious contender for the Intercontinental Championship. If he was given anything to work with to build up some credibility, he's a fantastic heel, has a great look and style, and would be a solid mid-card champ if the WWE just gave him an opportunity, but clearly Triple H has nothing for him, which is very unfortunate to say the least. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.